All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol ZOM, Zomedica Corp. And before we jump into this chart, I do want to state to every single investor, first-time viewer coming across this channel, welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. Now, I do want to announce that I have a new ticker symbol to share with you guys that you definitely want to add to your watch list moving forward and you want to keep on your radar. It has a specific niche within the EV sector, and it takes up a large market share within that specific niche. So stay tuned to the end so we can talk more about it. We're going to talk about an article I saw and the chart overall and the potential moving forward. So stay tuned for more information on that. So Zomedica Corp. Something I talked about last week and I wanted us to watch carefully is the fact that I'm noticing towards the end of the week to the beginning of a new week, we see this jump up. And then the same thing happened here. Pullback, jumped up. And I said, okay, now we need to watch it. Now it didn't pull back consistently. It actually had a slight little jump towards the end of last week on Thursday. And then Friday pulled down. And here we are with a jump up. Now it wasn't the same one, right? This one was pretty steep upwards and steep upwards. But there's been some momentum formed here, which is looking like it can consolidate within this area instead of just dropping right back down. So we really want to watch this carefully moving forward, but very interesting enough that from every end of the week to the start of the next week, right? This was from a Friday to a Tuesday, and then this was from a Friday to a Monday. And the reason why this one was Tuesday was because that was Martin Luther King, I believe, that week. Yeah, right here from the 15th to the 19th, right? So the markets opened here and they closed here. Then they closed here on the 22nd and lead it into the 25th. And then here we closed on the 29th and we've led into the 1st. So now we have to see how this is going to react from the 5th to the 8th or the rest of the week. Because now if it does this again for the rest of the week, then we're seeing a correlation to these jumps up and pull downs over the course of the week. And then leading towards the end of the week, starting the next week, we see a jump up. Now, how long could this last or this correlation last? I'm not sure. The more I talk about it, it might even stop because somebody's watching the video and they're going to realize, okay, we need to stop doing this because it's becoming obvious, right? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not quite sure. But it's something I've noticed. And I definitely wanted every single investor to be aware of because these behaviors are driven by investors and investor sentiment and how they're reacting. Now, February is a big month because this needs to hold itself up and stay within the dollar range or not go much further down than way down here at 78 and 81 cents and even up here at 85, right? Those are some important support levels moving forward. And then we have to see towards March, right, the launch of the TRUFORMA medical device. And then we have to see beyond that where Zomedica is going to be heading and going. So I want to talk about the first support level that is very important moving forward based off the chart. And it's right here at this point. And it's 97.15. Now, the 50-day moving average is down here at 96.59 to be exact. Let's see if I can land right on it because this bounces around right there. I just landed on it. Man, it's so hard. So it's 96.59 to be exact. Okay, I want every single investor to be aware of that. Can't land on it. But 96.59 to be exact, is super important. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. Now, the first support level that is closest to the 50-day moving average currently is 97.15. Very important support level to keep in mind and watch carefully if it gets broken through because it's getting closer to the 50-day moving average. Now, within the last couple hours of the day and this bearish candlestick appearing after such a bullish run, 106 is a definite support level to watch as well. But since there's such a broad stretch between this support and the next support, I would even use here at 101 or even just $1 as a midway point to kind of dissect all of this going on in bullish territory and see if the bears are starting to dominate by pulling it down, or are the bulls reappearing by pulling it back up. So definitely something to keep in mind. Now, our resistance here is the second highest point and right when the pullback started, and that is 111. That needs to be broken through by the bulls to continue this momentum, reach newer highs, and pull further away from the 50-day moving average in the upward direction. I want every single investor to be aware of that. 111 needs to be broken through, turn into a support so the bulls can pull upwards, reach newer highs, and work their way up into bullish territory, and then leading closer to the highest point recently reached today, which was 114, and that needs to be broken through for this to definitely pull up to newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned till the end because I have a new ticker symbol you definitely want to add to your watch list and you won't want to miss. So for everyone that has stayed to this point, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is definitely one you want to do more research on and you want to watch carefully. Now, it's in the EV sector and it focuses on a specific niche, and I've been watching it for a few days, and an article came out on Friday that gave me even more of a confirmation why this one's going to have potential in the long term. I'm not too quite sure how we need to play it out in the short term because it is kind of hyperinflated in a little bit, and it was going downwards and it just bounced back up, and I definitely want to recommend to every single investor, watch it carefully. So the ticker symbol is ACTC, ArcLight Clean Transition Corp. So here we are with how it reacted when the merger was announced. It went from $12 all the way up to $31. It started to pull back, and this pullback was looking healthy. Now it bounced right back up, and this could be the overall market reaction because the whole market had a slight jump, and it jumped $4, almost $3 and some change, $4 from the lows here. So right now it's sitting at 26.29, and I definitely recommend watching it if it breaks through 2050 and also 2015, right? 22.15, excuse me. Those are the 2 points of support levels to watch carefully moving forward, and we want to see if this continues to pull downwards after this slight jump, or does it consolidate up here, and is it creating the anticipation leading towards the merger? Now, after the merger is something to watch as well. I've seen a lot of these mergers happen so far, and they actually start to have pullbacks as well afterwards. But in the long term, this is definitely a stock to keep in mind and watch carefully because they have a large market share who ACTC is going to merge with. Let's see this article here. So this is the article that came out on Friday. Yesterday I was going to do videos, and I actually was going to do videos on Friday. I've had a few hiccups, and I apologize for that to every single viewer and investor, but I'm glad that I'm still able to proceed with this information, and it's still one to definitely watch and keep in mind. So when I saw this article from Investors Place, the heading was why investors should pass on ArcLight for now. The key words here to me that stand out is should pass for now, and that's fine. You want to add it to your watch list though, and you want to keep an eye on it and see how it's reacting because this sector has potential. And this is who they're merging with, Proterra. ArcLight has agreed to merge with Proterra. Well, now that they have agreed to do that, who you should do more research on is Proterra. Now, from what I've seen, they've been around for over 10 years, and they have a large market share in the niche that they do. And what do? They are an electric bus maker. Now, if you guys have seen Arrival and how things are happening in Europe, I could see Proterra being the one in the US market. That's the one in Europe market, Arrival. I could see Proterra being the one in the US market. I'm not sure if Arrival will arrive into the US market. For as long as it doesn't, Proterra has an upward, hand on this one. So over the long term, it basically says Proterra should do very well. That's a good sign. Now it talks about, the pandemic and so forth, why it's not recommended to buy ACTC anytime soon. Now, ArcLight has agreed to merge with Proterra. So when they say this anytime soon, but they say over the long term it should do very well. And then I see should pass. For now, it makes sense that this is the time to watch it. You really want to keep it on your radar and see how it moves. And now we have time to do due diligence as investors and research to know more about Proterra. So if anybody knows more than me or anything else, or wants to share any articles, or even this article, if you find it, you can post a link down below in the comments so that other investors are aware. But I would definitely start with this one because just the beginning kind of throws you, the good and the bad. And then as you continue to read, it talks about the good and the bad. And all of a sudden the good outweighs the bad because it tells you all the great things of Proterra and who they are and how they're working and what they plan on doing moving forward. Now, why do I see potential in this stock moving forward? And I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold any position in it, but I am here to enlighten you guys on adding this to your radar and keeping a close eye on it. Well, right now we are in the pre-merger, hype and stuff, and after the merger things might cool down again, and we need to see how far down it cools down, and also what's the anticipation leading into the merger. Now, why is this a great one? Well, the fact is that electric bus makers have a lot of potential just based off of the school system. Think about that nationwide. And then public transportation system. Think about that nationwide. There's enough to go around there for them to go ahead and make these buses and receive a lot of purchases and orders over time. So I look forward to how things continue to move, and especially with legislation being passed and going greener and EV becoming more of a norm rather than a luxury or taboo, it's going to change everything about the whole sector. And the fact that this focuses on a niche within the EV sector, which is electric bus makers, and this is one of them, and they have a large market share in that niche, I could see a lot of potential for this one. So definitely one to add to your watch list. ACTC, it's going to merge with Proterra. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, let's make some money.